So, moving on to our first and only review of the day is going to be for the film The Mummy. And no, not the Tom Cruise Mummy from what
Oh, what? Oh,
2017.
I watched the wrong one. Damn.
Not that Mummy there, which I've never seen that Tom Cruise
Don't watch it. It's not good. Do not watch it.
Mummy there. Have you seen that one, Chris?
The Tom Cruise one, no. And if I do see it, it'll only be for Sophia Boutella.
Yes, Sophia Boutella.
It's not even worth it for her.
Not worth it. Dang, that's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. I haven't seen this one. I heard it was a disaster. This was when they were trying to do the big dark universe thing, and they were trying to do that.
Russell Crowe's in it is a Dr. Jekyll, which is the hardest laugh I got in the whole movie. It's not good. It's bad.
So I heard this was a big disaster, big flop here for this movie. Killed the whole dark universe in its inception there. Didn't even get past one movie. Usually at least a couple movies they'll do 2 or 3, but no, it's like, no, this is dead on arrival after this came out. But we do have The Mummy from 1999. This is its 25th year anniversary and is being re-released in theaters right now, with a lot of other movies having its 25th anniversary, like Star Wars Episode 1 and like The Matrix. The Matrix, which we did a review for, by the way. That's up on our YouTube right now, youtube.com, which we reviewed The Matrix for its 25th year anniversary. So with The Mummy here, I think that this movie is probably the best Indiana Jones ripoff movie out there. Because it basically takes all the elements from the Indiana Jones movies and just does it again. But it does have a lot of good energy and good fun to it, I believe. So this is directed by Stephen Sommers. Stephen Sommers, who's done a variety of different things. Stephen Sommers, he was also the director of Van Helsing, by the way, which was the Hugh Jackman film.
Let's go.
Which actually, I think that it has its 20th anniversary right now. Van Helsing is on right now. And then he also did G.I. Joe Rise of Cobra, was a movie that he also directed.
So good.
And he also did Deep Rising. He also directed Catch Me If You Can, not the one with Leonardo DiCaprio, a different one there. And he also did that. So he does kind of a lot of, I guess you would describe hokey kind of action movie stuff there.
How dare you?
He does kind of a lot of that stuff. He does The Mummy, which I think, looking at his filmography, The Mummy is probably his best film by far, is probably The Mummy here. And what is The Mummy about? So you have your classic story. You have your adventurer here, who's played by Brendan Fraser. Brendan Fraser, who is having a career renaissance again. He's coming back. People love him. The Whale. He came back.
Renaissance. Let's go.
Yeah. Great for him. And he plays Rick O'Connell, who's your, swashbuckling, roguish type hero here, who works with the very nerdy but beautiful librarian Rachel Weisz, who plays Evelyn here. And along with her brother, Jonathan, who's played by John Hannah, they look to discover some treasure. Of course, with all this treasure, it's in Egypt, of course. And then when they're trying to hunt for this treasure, they discover a curse there, this book of the undead, that it can unleash all these different monsters there. And one of these monsters is the creature of the Imhotep, the former assistant to the pharaoh, who was having an affair with the pharaoh's wife. And when they do an opening scene there, they explain the whole story. And for a lot of people, I was talking about this movie online, said this movie was the bisexual awakening for a lot of people. And you could definitely see, especially the opening sequence with that woman, the pharaoh's wife here. It was like, oh yeah, I mean, because she's showing up because I think they removed that in the trailer, because she shows up in something way more revealing in the trailer. I mean, the actual movie, I think they kind of added some more stuff in the trailer there in her outfit. So you just have also 2 sets of people there. You have kind of more people who are also with the treasure, who are also hunting for it. So it's them competing against this whole other group there as well. But much like with the Mummy stuff, it's like this Imhotep character who, this prophecy that if he kind of comes back, he's going to bring also his beloved back, his dead girlfriend, and basically take over everything with his magic mummy powers that you have there. What you have. I'm gonna go around get you guys' opinion on this. What are your thoughts on The Mummy, 1999? Chris, I'm gonna go with you, man. What are some of your thoughts on this?
Man, 1999 was really a revolutionary year for film between The Mummy and Phantom Menace, The Matrix, and so many other really fun movies. This is 2 years after Brendan Fraser was George the Jungle, and that movie made me like an instant fan of his, also along with Leslie Mann. Um, this is one of the movies, kind of like Rush Hour. I saw the second one first
Mm,
by accident because I'm a kid. I watch whatever my
Yeah.
family's watching. So I saw Rush Hour 2 before I saw the first one. I love both. I saw The Mummy Returns before I saw this one, but now I love both. Brendan Fraser is a star. He's handsome. He's dashing, charismatic. He's a great actor and also a great movie star. He's both. Like Brendan Fraser is what Chris Pratt wants to be, but Chris Pratt is just a movie star. He's not a great actor. Brendan Fraser is both. Um, and of course, Rachel Weisz, she's a baddie. She's a baddie back then. 25 years now, she's a baddie now. And I think as far as like being a young man and watching movies and you know having our young sexual awakenings and just for me it's if it's like brunettes and like brown hair, it was Natalie Portman because of Star Wars. It was Rachel Weisz because of the Mummy, and Sandra Bullock because I think of Miss Congeniality and Speed and her earlier stuff. Um, this movie is I've seen it so many times. It's so much fun, and the chemistry between these people are fantastic. And I'll never forget how creeped out I am to this day of the scarabs that go under your skin,
Same.
and like
oh yeah.
that visual effect of them move it's so well done, and it's still effective to this day. And I want to shout out the actor who plays Arnold Vosloo, who plays Imhotep. He has presence.
He does.
He has gravitas. He doesn't have to say anything. He just has to stand there and look at you, and you're just like, "Oh my goodness! All right, you got it. Whatever you got it. Like, take it easy." He is a great actor who just with his eyes can do so much. So yeah, without overcooking it, I really enjoy this movie. This is a late '90s classic.
What about for you, Hunter?
Yeah, so I love the first two Mummy movies. It's really awesome they stopped at two and didn't make a third one. But I love both films so much. I still remember watching this and being a huge Indiana Jones fan and kind of wanting something in that vein. I remember watching this as a kid and being so stoked. I remember seeing this in seventh grade. Oh God, I'm old. But I remember seeing it and just being so stoked. Rachel Weisz. I saw this in Batman and Robin within like the same proximity, and I remember just being like, "Oh, what's puberty? Oh, Rachel Weisz. Oh, Poison Ivy. Oh, that's what puberty is. Cool, thanks." So if I ever meet Rachel Weisz or Uma Thurman, that's my icebreaker. But Rachel Weisz is so fucking charming in this, and I think it's really a trope that they oftentimes just fail to get. I immediately think of Prince of Persia as one of those movies that tried to do this and just failed at like every turn, basically. Fraser and Weiss's chemistry is what carries the movie. Everything else really is secondary, but he like this scene in particular. So first off, I love that he's a smart white dude. He went, "Oh, there's a fucking mummy that's come back from the dead. I'm out." And I was like, "Oh my God, thank you." Because that is something about horror movies that just royally pisses me off. It's like, "Oh, the TV's floating, baby. Well, we just moved in. We can't leave." It's like, fucking go. It's like things won't get better if you fucking stay. So the fact he wants to leave, I'm like, good. Thank you, smart white guy. Get the fuck out of there.
Fairy tales and hokum stuff. Chew.
Having an encounter with a 3,000-year-old walking
Talking corpse does tend to convert one.
And that cat is just like, what's going
down the hall and we're gone.
Oh, no, we are not.
But yeah,
Oh,
he's
yes,
smart.
we are.
He's like, we're fucking leaving. Like, bravo to him. Bravo to him on that. That is my one actual gripe with the movie, though, is for as often as she spins in the library, and considering that she can write and read ancient Egyptian, her dumb ass should have known better than to read from that fucking book. Like that is my one. Like, oh, girl, come on now. And I love how the one guy wakes up from a dead sleep. He was like, bitch, what are you doing? Don't read from the book. Like, it's the hardest laugh I get in the movie every time I watch it, because it's such a Black reaction. Just like, no. but
He was asleep.
Yeah,
He was
asleep.
And she took the book from him while he was asleep too. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like, you bitch. Yeah, like, yeah, it's right here. Okay.
No! You must not read from the book.
Oh Jesus. Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh shit, I'm crying. Damn, I love that so much. It is the best reaction. And in Rick, he's right. Like Rick is 1,000% correct. You were dumb. You read from this book. I took you there. I got you back. I did my job. Money, please. Yeah, exactly. I'm happy you got the right. Yeah, but he's right. Like, money, please. I'm fucking gone. And I at least appreciate the fact that was a thing, because he very easily could have been dumb and been like, oh, I've fallen for you, I'm gonna stay. And he's like, nah, fam, this is a business transaction. Like, my ass is out. So the movie is actually smarter than I think the movies give him credit for in those aspects. What's the guy's name? The one fucker. Benny.
Benny. Yeah.
Oh man. So between Benny in here and then Boris in Goldeneye, like, it was a great couple years for like sniveling guys that you just wanted to see get killed at the end of the movie. And Benny's death is so it's so rewarding when you get it. But he's such a sniveling little shit. And I love him in the movie. Yeah.
And so Benny was a former comrade of Rick O'Connell's. Like, they were in the same platoon together, army together, and then he ran away and left him to die, as you can see there. So they show that many people over the years have tried to come to this tomb and then have tried to, to get some treasures from it. But there's people defending it and protecting it because of what it can be unleashed if people do that and get the Book of the Dead. And then Benny is kind of like your Alfred Molina character from almost like Raiders. Very kind of sniveling, kind of conniving type character. And this is a good scene, I think, that kind of shows their relation, because they meet back up together when they're both trying to go and get the treasure there right here.
We've lost everything, all of our tools, all the equipment, all my clothes.
Oh, no! It looks to me like I've got all the horses! Hey, Benny! Looks to me like you're on the wrong side of the river!
Their back and forth is really good. I think it's
So
pretty
good.
humorous. He just kind of beats the shit out of him every time they meet up.
But he keeps getting away. It's
yeah.
great. Like,
it's just that classic stuff. And trivia about the movie. So Rick O'Connell, the lead character, is played by Brendan Fraser, of course. But originally, actually, Tom Cruise was supposed to be in. Was kind of originally offered it to Tom Cruise. Originally.
Well, look how that turned out.
Yeah. So he initially offered it to him. And then also Brad Pitt, Matt Damon, Ben Affleck were also considered for the role. But then Brendan Fraser ultimately getting it because George of the Jungle was a big success. That was a big hit there. That was a big box
Hell
office.
yeah.
So they casted him. And another thing about this movie, the chemistry between him and Rachel Weisz is very good. I think it's very well done
So good.
there. It's kind of rare that when people talk about movies that have gotten sexless lately, and then there's that. But I think there's genuinely really good chemistry between the two of them.
Watch Poor
Um,
Things.
yeah, Poor Things is also very good too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that has
Well,
yeah,
if you want to see some sex, watch Poor Things. There's
yeah. Um, what did you think about the kind of relationship and chemistry there, Chris, between the two leads?
It's the sexual tension is palpable. It's amazing that they're two very attractive people. He's the bronze, she's the brains. It shouldn't work out, but it does. He's the American, she's the Brit. There's so many reasons why it shouldn't work, but of course, with a movie magic, it does work. And yeah, the way they play off each other, and the joke she says of um, don't let him turn me into a mummy, because if he does, I'm coming after you first. Those kind of cute things. It feels real when you can really believe that these two people are falling for each other. And I did want to add, it's nice that she's not, her character at least isn't just a white woman obsessed with Egypt. They do say her mother in the movie is Egyptian. Her father was a scholar, but her mother was the explorer. So her parents kind of reflect her relationship with Rick. So I thought that was, really good intentional storytelling.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point, because it could come across very like missionary if you don't have that element in there, because you can definitely tell she misses her parents and that she feels closer to them, like doing this. And so
Yes.
you go, okay, that's an actual human reason why she's so invested in this. With that said, I mean, I'm gonna check one thing you said, because you go like, oh, it shouldn't work, but it does. She gives Rick the "I will let you fuck me right here" eyes as soon as she sees that haircut and he's clean shaven. She's like, oh well, hello, Mr. Cotton. It's like, oh wow, you are not even hiding it. like I was like, because the fact of the matter is, she asked later on, like, oh, why did you kiss me?
Yeah.
But Rick, I love Rick, because he's dead. Like, he could have been like, oh well, it's because I just saw you, and it was like, damn. But he's completely honest. He's like, yeah, I thought I was about to die, so I figured I might as well get a kiss before I go. And she like storms off, and he's like, what did I? I was like, Rick, you're great. I will say too, I know we're just reviewing this one, but I actually think their chemistry is actually better in the second one, because you've got the setup out of the way, so it can really just be their chemistry, and seeing them just even interact around the house and stuff. Like, when you're living with your partner, there is that point where you just kind of hit that rhythm where, like, oh, I need something from the kitchen. Oh, I got you. Like you're in that rhythm. And the way that they're in that rhythm when it comes to archaeology and everything, you're just like, this is really sweet. You clearly are meeting each other and love each other on that level. I will say, because it is 99, the effects haven't aged super well. But the ones that kind of the more grandiose ones, like the face in the sand, that's a cool ass fucking effects. Like, still, it's like, god damn, like Imhotep ain't playing. And even the plane sequence is really well handled. Like, the bigger set pieces, like, yeah, Imhotep kind of looks, PlayStation 1 Crash Bandicoot-ish a little bit, but this sort of stuff is really well handled, and I think it actually has a really great scope of adventure to it.
Yeah. And this is when they're going to go rescue, because of course, like in these movies, you got to have the damsel in distress type situation. So Rich Weisz, she gets kidnapped by Imhotep, and he wants to basically bring his lover back, and then have the lover possess her body.
But that's an actual good reason for her getting kidnapped. She's not getting kidnapped just because she kind of, like, the plot calls for it. There's an actual logistical reason that you go, oh, okay, this actually makes sense.
And then you see the face right here.
Whoo, yeah, fuck that.
Yeah, you see that kind of going on. So yeah, the bigger set pieces I do think they handle kind of well there. That look pretty decent. The
Oh,
other
so
stuff,
cool.
the actual zombie type creatures there, when he's like the mummy, when he first comes out there, and he kind of puts himself together piece by piece, doesn't really look that good.
I mean,
Uh,
it doesn't. It's fun though. Like it's
it doesn't. And then speaking about it being kind of an older movie, um, I don't think they handle really the Arab population that well. Like when they kind of go there to Egypt, like a lot of them are seen as really disposable and then really treated like kind of dirt there, kind of in a way. There's that kind of going on. But you do, and then you do have an actor in this who's one of also a person that goes to help rescue Evelyn. Adin Fahir, who's in this, who plays the what's the character's name? Bay. Idris
yeah,
Bay there, who you
yeah.
have, who people were also thirsting after this guy too. A lot of people
Oh,
also
people were very much like, oh, hello. Like, yeah. I've heard some very not appropriate things about it.
He's a handsome guy.
He is. He's a good looking dude.
Yeah, he's a handsome guy.
yeah. So you had him. You have also the person Patricia Vasquez there who played the mistress there, and this is her outfit, and you also see the back of the outfit too.
Whew, Lord
I
have
mean,
mercy. Yeah.
I mean, she was looking really. I mean, like I said, everybody was hot in this movie. I mean, it was just like wall to just everybody was gorgeous. Um,
Josh, I do gotta go.
okay. But you want to give a quick rating there, real quick, there, Chris?
Yes. 1999, The Mummy. Tune in for sure. Tune in, absolutely. It may not be peak cinema to everyone, but absolutely tune in. It's a classic. You know, it's Rick he's Han Solo and Indiana Jones. The movie itself
Yeah.
is very Indiana Jones, and it's just a lot of fun, a lot of heart, a lot of charisma, and some horror elements. Visual effects, you know, don't all the way hold up, but it's definitely worth it. Definitely tune in for sure.
Thank you, Chris. I'll
Chris,
make sure
have a good one, man.
Thank
good
you,
one.
Hunter. See you again soon, buddy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Take care.
So yeah, I will say that's kind of one of the downsides of the movie is kind of somewhat the effects there. But when you say in the big
Yeah.
action set pieces, they do kind of well. And it's just like, yeah, I mean, this isn't reinventing the wheel when it comes to action adventure movies. Like I said, very much Indiana Jones like, but it executes it well. And I think if you could execute the things well, that's really what matters.
Agreed.
And with the character of Rick O'Connell, you know, being this roguish type character, being like this very Indiana Jones, Han Solo type character, it's like in these action movies recently, I feel like we've gotten, it's like they kind of strip all the personality away from them, and just the action is the personality instead of the actual character.
Yeah, like you get a lot of that, unfortunately, in Dial Destiny, where it's less like you get some pockets of indie being indie, but it's definitely secondary to, you know, the action they're trying to put on the front of the screen. That's kind of the trap Solo falls into for the first like 30 minutes of it. But I think once Solo gets going, I think it just takes off. Yeah, this just it's one of those movies that it's kind of a perfect storm of everything it's trying to be. And while the sequel could have definitely suffered in quality, I personally don't think it does. It is uber convenient, admittedly, in the sequel that, oh, look, Rick, you know, he's a magi, he's like the chosen one. They pull that shit. It's like, okay, but yet I think the sequel works just as well. Just as well in parts, just because of their chemistry. And I actually think the action set pieces are more varied, and the fact that the mummy is still coming for that ass, like he's like he could kill a Scorpion King and probably win, but he sees Rick and the first thing he says is, "You, like, motherfucker." like I remember your ass. So I really dig I really dig The Mummy Returns, and I actually think
You like it
the
better? You
actors-
think it's better than the first one?
I personally I like it better. Yeah.
Okay.
I personally do, because I think the action stuff is handled better. I think there's a lot more variance of the action scenes in the first one, or in the second one. Um, I love that attack on the O'Connell's house. That sequence I think is fucking amazing. I actually would put that up against anything in the first film. I love that that kind of home invasion scene. And it's the first appearance of Dwayne the Rock Johnson. He only has like 5 words to say, but that is his debut, and that led off to a very successful spinoff in the Scorpion King, which is fine. It's aight.
The only thing I remember about that movie is the scene when he was buried and he ate the beetles. That's the only thing I
Oh
remember.
yeah.
But yeah, this led to the spinoff, the Scorpion King, because this was, I think, The Mummy Returns, right? It was the first big role for The Rock.
It was, yeah.
And then it led to him getting his own spinoff. I don't remember much about this, and this came a year after The Mummy Returns.
Oh yeah, they had this shit in the can. They were ready for this shit. They were like, "Let's go." And of course, it gave us the awesome song, the Stand Alone. It gave us that shit. But yeah, this is the beginning of the Rock's ascension. Kelly
Hu was in this.
Yeah, Kelly Hu. Yeah, whoo, fine, Kelly Hu. But yeah, this is and Michael Clark Duncan is actually really good in this. So
rest in peace to Michael Clark Duncan.
Yeah, rest in peace, King. We miss you. But yeah, it's actually it's a fun little, it's a very fun Sunday afternoon movie. Like that would be something that I'd be like, grab a couple beers and throw it on, and you'll be mildly entertained.
And did they do like a direct to DVD sequel, right, of Scorpion King?
So I was actually just looking it up. There are not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 Scorpion King sequels, all direct to DVD. Right, the last one 2018, and actually. 2018. And fun fact, I just want to confirm real quick. Dave Bautista is in the 4th sequel or the 3rd sequel, I think. So that would have been 2015.
Quest for Power.
Yeah.
And Lou Ferrigno is in this?
Yeah. That was the next name I was about to bring up.
And look at this poster. Oh my God. Like, this is like shit. Look at this poster right here. This not even attempting to try with this poster. It's just like this looks like Lou Ferrigno from Comic-Con. Like, you just guys grabbed him from Comic-Con and strapped him on the poster.
He just grabbed his headshot. They're like, fuck it, this works.
Jesus.
Oh man. If I could find them streaming somewhere, I just might do a Scorpion King film series review. Just go through review all the Scorpion King movies.
On the Roman Blunts, they might be on Tubi. These things are on Tubi, maybe.
Oh God, are they? Fuck! I opened my mouth. Now I gotta do it. Maybe that'll be my week. I'll just watch the Scorpion King films.
I know I watched The Mummy on Peacock. I wonder who owns the Scorpion King rights.
I think the Scorpion King is on there. Because I'm pretty sure. Actually, let's see. Is the Scorpion King on Peacock?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, but I mean, I think I did. Yeah, I saw. I think. Yeah.
Yep. It's on Peacock. Yep.
It's on Peacock. Okay, well,
it is. Boom.
All of them, or just the one?
Just the first one. So I'd have to.
Have to search for the other one.
Yeah, which may not be worth the search, but yeah, maybe I'll watch the first one. But yeah, the film, yeah, they're pretty fun.
I was gonna say, you didn't mention the other movie.
What other one?
This one. Tomb of
yeah, no, there's a reason I said that they only did 2 of these and they never did a third one.
And this came out in 2008. I vaguely remember this one. I don't.
Remember
not as good as the other 2.
Oh, it's a piece of crap. I remember this because remember it's Maria Bello instead of Rachel Weisz. Their son is older. I still the only thing, God, yeah, the son's older and he sucks. I still remember fucking Jonathan, a yak throws up on him and he goes, yak, yacked. And I still remember being in the theater going, fuck you. Like, I hate this movie so much. And this is the one that has Kung Fu, Abominable Snowmen. It's, oh God, it's so bad. It's so goddamn
Michelle
bad.
Yeoh was in this. Jet Li was in
Yep,
this.
and Jet Li's the villain. Yeah, the son is a dickhead. You are correct.
Yeah, I think I do remember the son being there, and I do remember the Abominable Snowman there. And this was in '08. This came out there, so 7 years
Yeah.
after the sequel to Mummy Returns. Isn't that kind of late? You think? I mean, because
Oh,
yeah,
absolutely. It's absolutely
yeah.
late.
Like
Yeah,
he kind of
it's
wanted to more capitalize on the success of Mummy Returns there. Um, and I think this is the last time with the Mummy, the Mummy Returns. This is probably the last time anybody really gave a fuck about the dark universe or the original movie monsters type thing. Um,
yeah,
if
I
you
would
want to
say
count
so.
Invisible Man, that one that the from Blumhouse,
Yeah, that would count. I think.
which was kind of done there. But yeah, I think this was the last time anybody really gave a shit about the kind of the movie original movie monsters there. But everybody's doing Frankenstein. Everybody's doing like Frankenstein is the new thing. Everybody's doing
I'm
versions of
hyped.
Frankenstein.
I'm excited for that.
Yeah, like Guillermo del Toro's gonna do one with Jacob Elordi, your favorite guy, Elvis. There, he's gonna do
Yeah.
one with him.
Well, okay. Let's call. Okay, I like Austin Butler. Let's get this out of the way. I think Butler is a. I'm sure he's great. It's just Elvis is bad, y'all. Like, why? I'm not saying anything controversial. Elvis fucking sucks, but Austin Butler is really good. So I'm
What do you
happy
say
that
about
he's.
Jacob Elordi? He played Elvis as well.
Oh, I like Priscilla. I
Okay,
mean,
you like it?
granted, Priscilla is like more in line with actual Elvis, but which I'm sure is why some people didn't like it. How dare they tell the truth? But but I like him a lot, and I liked him in Saltburn a
Okay.
lot. So
Yeah, so there is
yeah, I'm
one
a fan.
coming with him as Frankenstein's monster there in the new Guillermo del Toro. So
Oh
that's
yeah,
gonna
because he
come.
replaced
Andrew
was
Garfield.
it? That's right.
He's
Yeah,
gonna
that's
replace Andrew.
right.
Yeah.
I am a little bummed about that because I love Andrew Garfield a lot, but I mean that's a hell of an opportunity for him to work with Del Toro. So yeah, good for him.
Yeah, and they did Poor Things, which is basically like a Frankenstein type movie. They did that there, which you can see.
Lisa Frankenstein that just came out.
Lisa Frankenstein, the black girl and her monster was a
Oh
Frankenstein.
yeah, yeah. I need to watch that. I heard that was actually pretty good.
I didn't like that movie at all.
Oh
But
really?
it,
Oh,
it got great reviews though, but I didn't like it.
okay, fair
Um,
enough.
any big negatives for you besides the effects for the Mummy film?
Um, no, not really. Like I mean, I just reviewed this in October for my Halloween series, and I was I was sitting with one of the cats, so I was like, oh fuck it, I'll watch it again. So I watched it again before I hopped on. But yeah, I dig this movie so much, and it holds up so well, and the laughs still work. The third act is great. There's an actual really like it's very well done as far as the tension. Um, yeah, I dig this movie a lot. Yeah, I have a lot of fun with this.
Yeah. This is a great romp of an action adventure movie. This is how you're supposed to do it, and execute it well. I think Brendan Fraser. I mean, this is great role for him, and showing like how you do the roguish type hero. And I don't think it is just a carbon copy of the Han Solo or what I
Nah,
mean, Indiana Jones. I think he does his own kind of thing with it. There, he's got his own kind of style with it, and it's kind of rare. I mean, I don't know what if we've seen another kind of character like this recently. I mean, you bring up some people mention like Chris Pratt in the Jurassic World movies, but I don't think he's like that. I think he's kind
I
of lame. And
I think Owen is terrible in those movies. I think that's exactly what they were going for. I think they're going for that Rick O'Connell type. I think Chris put it perfectly that Chris Pratt is a very good movie star, but he's not a great actor. And I think honestly that shows how great of a director James Gunn is because he occasionally was able to trick people into thinking that Chris Pratt was a really great actor. But you see Chris Pratt outside of those movies, whether it's, Take Me Home Tonight or The Terminal List or Tomorrow War, like Chris Pratt kind of sucks outside, like when he's not working with Gunn. Passengers, like all three of those Jurassic World movies are just. I don't care what anyone says, they're ass. They're absolutely terrible. Fucking Locust in the Jurassic World, like in the dinosaur movie, like give me a fucking break. Like
I'm looking at it. He was good in Moneyball. It's kind of decent in Moneyball.
Okay, yeah, okay, I'll give you Moneyball. So
Zero
I
Dark
mean,
30. Did you like him in that?
I think it's passable in it. I think Chastain and others are carrying that movie more, but
And then Lego Movie.
okay, yeah, but that's almost negated by the second one because I think the second one is pretty bad. And then I won't even get into Super Mario Brothers, which I think he is just so unfit for. But yeah, I mean, and keep in mind we have Garfield coming out in a couple weeks, so I'll just have more evidence to go. Yeah, so I'll have more evidence to go that Pratt's not good. So you know,
would you say his character as Star-Lord is kind of like the new big roguish type hero there, Star-Lord, or
he's probably the closest thing to that type that we've had in a while that's been successful.
Yeah,
because like on paper it should work in Jurassic Park because dinosaurs, but I think the chemistry between him and Bryce Dallas Howard is just non-existent in those movies. Like,
yeah,
especially when they get to the third one, they're like, oh, they're living off the reservation with clone dinosaur girl. You're just like, really? This is where they end? Like, it's even for a dinosaur movie, it's stretching believability. But Pratt just, I think that's one thing is that he has a very hard time connecting on that romantic level or even a flirty level with his co-star, like his romantic or his female lead, independent of Zoe Saldana, which is just, it's so weird how that kind of works. But yeah, they're clearly trying to kind of go for that rogue type with Owen, and I just think that I don't know what it is. I mean, it's the scripts at least, but it just doesn't work for whatever reason.
yeah. I guess you have Star-Lord, and then maybe Reacher. I guess maybe Reacher.
Okay, yeah, I could see that. Yeah, I think Reacher would count.
Yeah, you have that as being the big ones there.
He has a great screen presence though. Alan
Richardson.
Thank you. Yeah, he has really great. I mean, he's a big dude, obviously, but he's a very naturally charismatic. He kind of has Momoa vibes about him in that way, like as far as being a big guy but being charismatic.
If they ever did kind of another Mummy, would you do Alan Richardson? Would you do Jason Momoa?
Ooh, that's a Alan Richardson. He could do that. He could do a mummy type role. Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, I could see that. I could definitely see that with him.
Yeah. I mean, it would be a thing because how can his big ass even fit in the tombs? I mean, it'd be like, damn, can he even get out? I mean, that'd be the kind of the thing. But
right, you can make it a comedy. It's like, oh, he can't fit.
He's bumping around everything, hitting everything. The traps come down. It's like, geez, man.
Okay.
Maybe you should say it.
Okay, Josh, you're kind of selling me on this. Come on, Hollywood, get on.
But yeah, I mean, this movie, man, it was fun watching this again. And I can only imagine how much it'd be to watch this in theaters. I don't know what the box office has been for this.
I have no idea.
In its recent re-release, I know Alien, when it got released for its 45th anniversary, it made like 1.6 million. So I was trying to wonder what the re-release would be. But so when this movie came out, the 1999 Mummy, hold on, let me pull up the box office numbers and the budget for that one. And I don't know, Hunter can work on the other one there. So this had a budget of $80 million and had a box office of 417.4 million.
Damn, let's go.
So it did very well. 80 million is also kind of a big budget back then too. 80 million.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, that would be like a $180-ish million budget now.
Yeah, how much did the budget of Mummy 2017 have? Let's see.
Oh God, let me guess. I'm gonna go 2017. I'll go 175.
Kind of close. It was a budget reportedly is 125 to 195 million.
Oh my God, 195. What the fuck? Really? Jesus Christ, that's horrible.
And it had a box office of 410 million. There. So
that is not good. God damn.
And this lost, the 2017 one lost, losing 60 to 95 million due to high production and marketing costs.
Good.
Yeah.
It deserved to. It's an ass movie.
Yeah. So you gotta have that.
Ooh,
Yeah, but
that's
yeah,
good.
man, this was a good watch. I would say it is a very, very strong tune in, bordering on a peak. What about for you?
That's about where I'm at. I'm going like the highest of tune in. I'm like right on that cusp of like high tune in, low peak. Just because we've done this for a while. I think we definitely like stuff sometimes, despite its flaws, obviously, but that's where your enjoyment kind of spackles in, the plot holes and your issues with it. So I would go low peak, like it's a low peak, but it's like it's right on that border. But because I've probably watched this start to finish at least, God, I'd at least be in double digits. I've seen this at least 10 times, start to finish, like no shame. So I'd go low peak on this. Yeah, low peak, low peak.
It's just a good time. It's just a really
It
good time.
really is.
A really fun movie. I mean, it is a little longer. I mean, it's 2 hours. Maybe you could trim that down just a tad bit for it. Talked about a little bit of the weak effects. Talked about a little bit of the aging, not so well with kind of like the treatment of the Arab population here.
Some things never change.
Uh, but besides that, I mean, it's still good action in here. Good performances in here. The chemistry between the cast works really well there. The dynamic between the three of them works really well. I think. And you would say that the sequel is tops the first one. You would say, and you would give the sequel a peak.
I would give the sequel a peak. Probably probably a low peak still, but it's right there. Like I enjoy both films. I think it's the comparison I'd probably use would be, and I think people get it. It's kind of like First Avenger to Winter Soldier for me, in the sense of there's so much I like about the original, but then I get the sequel, and really the things that I like about the original, they just kind of double down on it more. Like the action in particular in the second film, I think is just better and it's more varied. Like you get the house invasion scene, you get the scene where they're trying to raise Imhotep back up, and they're in that that warehouse, which then goes ahead and bleeds over into the double-decker bus fight scene. Like the action is just more varied in it. They give Evie more to do, and they actually show that she's capable of like being an actual good shot and actually being able to like use swords and shit. You're like, okay, like it just does build upon everything, I think, very very well. And then the it has one of the coolest shots in one of my favorite shots in a movie. There's that tracking shot where Rick is going to the Scorpion King's throne, and he has the torch in his hand, and like the torch goes out for a second, but then the lights come back on. You see like it's zoomed in on Rick's face. Like it's such a like, yeah, The Mummy Returns just kind of rules. Like, God, I might watch that tonight. Like I'm kind of talking myself into it, but yeah, they're both just such good times. Just don't watch the last two ones that they've made. There's nothing there for you.
Yeah. Do you know why Rachel Weisz didn't come back for the third Mummy film?
I don't know. That's actually a really good question. I have no idea.
Yeah, I was kind of wondering that. But yeah. So in the I don't know. If we have a chance, might do a review for the sequel there. The Mummy. I haven't seen that in a long time. If we can,
Yeah, so check it
uh,
out. It's on
check.
Peacock too.
Yeah, it is on Peacock. So
It is.
two very, very high tune ins there, bordering on peaks for the Mummy, 1999.